Hello Lakers! This video is here to help you get set up with creating an audiobook within Garageband. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up the app. You can click on Launchpad and find it right here. Once you click on it, this will open up and we are going to want to select an empty project. So I'm going to click on the microphone. You'll notice down here that my computer is connected with the Yeti microphone. This is a really nice professional microphone within the library that you're allowed to use. If you feel more comfortable with your MacBook speakers, then that's okay as well. So I'm going to click on Create, and I'm going to turn off these purple buttons, and that's really important. Otherwise, I'm going to have this annoying sound playing in the background every time that I'm recording. The next thing that I'm going to do is click on this arrow and change it from beats and project to time. So this will allow me to know how long my audiobook is being played for. Next, we're going to set up an organization system. So I'm going to do a 2-finger hold on this track right here, and I'm going to rename it to my intro. And to add another one, I'll click on the plus sign, and then I'll hit the microphone again and create. And then I am going to rename this track to my body. The body is where you're going to be reading the pages from your audiobook. I'm also going to have a section for my sound effects. I want to keep that separate. I'm going to have another one for my music that might be playing in the background or underneath my intro and outro. And then I'm going to have one more. So this is going to be labeled outro. You could also call it conclusion. So now that I have this, I'm going to click back onto my intro and then I'm going to start recording it. So to do that, I'm going to click on this record button and you'll notice this red line starts to appear, and then you can see all these little lighter red lines. That's my voice going up and down. Let's say I'm done with it. I'm going to hit the record button again and then hit spacebar so that this bar does not get lost within my project. Let's say I don't like this, I didn't like the sound of my voice, then I'm going to click on it and hit my delete button on my keyboard, and that will allow me to re-record my piece. And so I'll stop this, hit my space bar, and then let's say I'm ready to record my body. I'm going to click on the body, and then I can drag my bar right here to the end of my intro, and then I can hit record, and then you'll see that it goes from my intro to my body. All right, so let's say you want to add some sound effects and some music. The place that I recommend going to is called Pixabay, something that you may have used in the past. They have some royalty-free music and sound effects, which means that you don't have to be worried about copyright. So what I'm going to do is click on the music, and you can scroll down and see things that were recently updated. You can also use the search bar right up here to search for like a specific mood or tone that you're going for. But let's say you find one that you want, you can preview the track. And it sounds like it would fit your audiobook. You can click on download and it will go into your downloads folder. And the same thing works for sound effects. So you can click on sound effects and you can search what's been recently uploaded, or you can use the search bar again to find something specific. So maybe I want some nature sounds. Let's see, this one has some like a forest with birds. So I'm gonna preview it. And that seems to work for me. I'm gonna click on download as well. All right, so now I need to add it into my project. So I'm going to click on my downloads and I'm going to take my sound effect and I am going to drop it right into my sound effect section. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my music. I'm going to drop this in here as well. Now I can now drag it into specific places that I want. So this is a really long recording. I am going to probably shorten this, and one thing that I can do to shorten it is I can take my bar right here, put it in a spot that I know I want to delete it. I can do a 2-finger hold and then I can split at play playhead, which means that I have separated these into 2 clips rather than one big one, and I can delete this big piece that I don't want anymore. If it's really small, you can also just kind of like drag the ends over and you can shorten it this way. So let's say I want to start out my clip with the forest and the birds as I'm reading. I'm going to drag it right into that spot that I want it to be. And let's say I want my music as I'm doing my intro. I'm going to do another split at playhead. So I'll put it right there. Split at playhead, and then I am going to delete that rest of the piece of the music. So if I start playing this, what this means that all of my sounds are at 100%, and I might want to kind of like softly like go into my intro music and then go back out so that when I'm reading my audiobook, it's not a lot of like noise that's kind of messing everything up. So I'm going to click on Mix. I'm going to click on Show Automation. And what this will allow me to do is change the volume of everything. So I am going to mute my sound effect. I'm going to mute my body and my outro because I don't want to deal with that. I just want to focus on my intro and my music that goes into it. So I'm going to hit Command. And you'll notice that a pencil shows up. So I am going to put my dot right down here, and then I'm going to draw another dot right here in the middle, and then another one at the end. And so what I've done is I've made it so that it's really quiet down here. It's going to pick up my noise, and then it will go back down. So it means that my intro will sound like fade in and then fade out. So you can hear it there, and I can do that with all of my other tracks that I want to. Another thing that I can do is if I am worried about like the bass volume, so let me unmute this, and I just want this to be a straight, like quiet thing, like going underneath, I can just drag this all the way down my volume. So that means that rather than going up and down, it's just all quiet. So those are ways that I can kind of mess around with the sound. So let's say I am happy with the way that this has been recorded. I've played it. I want to send it off to my teacher. What I can do is get out of my automation and my sound. I'm going to make sure that everything is unmuted. And then I'm going to click on Share, Export Song to Disk. And then I'm going to name it Audiobook. And then I want to make sure that it goes to my desktop. And then I'm going to select MP3. And I'm going to hit Export. So this is going to turn this different little tracks into one big file. It's going to pop up on my desktop, and then I can upload this to Schoology. So this is kind of the basics that you need to know for this project. If you need extra help, come and see me in the library, and I will help you with your project.